Hello everybody, I'm Petey the Bow Dragon and welcome back to a nice little Endheims replay for you all today. We're going to be covering one of the unique maps that Duke has made, Paravon Fields. It's a free-for-all map and a land battle map, more meant for like bigger 3v3s or sometimes 2v2s if you have it on a larger scale. Kind of fight. But today it is the host of a free-for-all between Pajadtron, commanding the Lizard Men, led by Tehenoin, Error, commanding the Warriors of Chaos, led by everybody's favorite Kolek Suneater. He is really just so very improved in Tet, and who could forget the Chaos Ponies from Hell? Oh, beautiful. Love them. Alan, the generic, alternatively known as Beans in a Jar, or in a can, commands the Empire over here with the classic double Griffin build with Boris Todbringer and an Amber Wizard, who's on a Griffin. No transformation of Kadan today, though. And then yours truly leads the forces of the Crooked Moon tribe. I'll shortly see why. So, as the battle goes underway, we'll take a look at some armies here. Front line of forest goblins and some regular old wolf hunters. This is a full goblin, troll, squig, and spider build today. A colossal squig, one of the unique units afforded by Skarsnik. This thing is really cool. And when it dies, it does a massive spore explosion, which is amazing. Fanatics, if you're playing greenskins and you don't bring fanatics, I just have no respect for you. These guys are too much fun. Have some river trolls. Evi Pradas are the other unique unit for the Crooked Moon, also afforded to Gram. These guys being reasonably high leadership for a goblin. Pretty high melee attack, melee defense, and a nice chunk of AP are pretty important against Lizardmen Chaos and somebody who you'd expect to bring Griffins. Rounding out the build are some nasty Skulkers, Rock Lobbers, a Goblin Great Shaman on a Catchweb Spider Shrine, some Wolf Hunters, and some Spider Riders. Over on the Empire side, we have 2 units of Reichsguard as a very nice hammer cavalry, 2 units of handgunners, very much so following the rule of evens that I tend to do. I like to have symmetrical builds. Halberds, great swords, shielded spearmen, 3 units of flagellants as the front line, and Boris Todbringer kind of commanding overhead with the Amber Wizard in there as well. Oh, just look at him. Fly like an eagle. Over here, Gorby's Chariot could prove to be very effective. These things, massive chunk of charge bonus, and chariots have so much mass. Front line of some Chaos Warriors and some mixture of Chaos Marauders, 2 Chaos Spawn, 2 Cultists, and some Forsaken over here, 2 units of Forsaken. These guys obviously get marks, and can be a huge help alongside marked Chaos Lancers. And then over here with Pajadtron, we have a very stripped down Lizardman build. No Saurus today, I believe, but 2 Salamander Hunting Pack, huge contingents of Skinks. Oh, I just didn't look hard enough. You got 3 Saurus Warriors and a Backbone here. Some cold ones, obviously Tehenoin and an Engine of the Gods, bringing Flock of Doom, Curse of Aranhir, Pens Impenetrable Pelt, and Transformation of Kadan, I believe. I just can't seem to find it. I do know, there we go, it was in there. Yeah, so let's get this battle underway. Alan has poured all of his strength in beansing our lovely little chaos fronts here, which means that I'm going to have to leg it across the field. It will let me take the hill with my artillery, but I got to start moving along. Nice advance here with some skink skirmishers and some salamanders. Salamanders prove to be a very big problem to both the Chaos Spawn, the Chaos Lancers, and Kolek. They can really rip into things, salamanders. And if they have low armor especially, for stuff like the Chaos Spawn, they will just get obliterated. And even that being said, still 55 AP is really nice for dealing with, say, the Chaos Lancers. They're a very good pick in this matchup. Very smart by Pajed to have two of them. Cold Ones immediately rushing up to the Gobboz chariot. If these can reroute and get into some of the skinks, it could prove very devastating. But Error, I think, is committing just a bit too much with them. The Cold Ones get in here now. They pop Primal Instincts, which are going to make them basically melt in this situation, but some things have to be done. I believe he's looking to flank around with the Cold Ones on this side, pop Primal Instincts, and just get these chariots off the field, because they could be really problematic to a skirmish fight. Skink skirmishers kind of coming in and a bit of friendly fire in there, but arguably getting the better end of that trade against the Chaos Spawn, and some good shots into the Chaos Marauders here. Doing quite a bit of damage. The Wolf Hunters, a little skirmish cav here for the Goblins, are going to start to scoot on up and get some pot shots. Goblin Great Shaman and Spider Riders flanking out over here. Very interesting position. Pajad is pretty surrounded at the moment, but it's going to take a while for the Goblins to actually bring all of their force against him. So if he can fully commit and salamanders are just a joy to watch. If you can fully commit into the Forces of Chaos here, it could be very good. Gobboz chariots decidedly rerouting. Ooh, this could be a big charge against the Flagellants. Ooh, that hurts. But I do think that will be where the Gobboz chariots expend all of their usefulness. Quick volley charge into here by the Wolf Hunters before they start to get out with the Chaos Spawn. Chaos Lancers. Mark of Nurgle is a unique choice here with Chaos Lancers, because it really does, well, it does mean that they're a lot tankier than they would otherwise be. It's going to be a lot harder to get them into the positions that they should be. A bit of thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening me, as Kolek Suneater starts to bring down the hammer. He's going straight for the salamanders. Era knows what the problem is. Tehenowan's just slaughtering through the Chaos Axe Marauders. Cultists have overextended a bit to try and get volleys into the salamander hunting pack. They really should try to focus down those Chaos Spawn. Wolf Hunters starting to court the Chaos Spawn out here. Very dynamic fight so far, and looks like the Forces of Chaos see it, and it's going to be pretty unfortunate to be a Saurus Warrior. Tehenowan is the commander of the Skinks, after all. Salamander hunting packs very quickly get out. Kolek bringing the storm right now, but he's so overextended at the moment. Cultists have managed to reroute, but alright. The sustained volley damage of those skinks is going to be a real problem for Kolek, and he's already very tired. There's a lot of friendly fire going on, but he's already done a lot. Kolek has a huge health pool, so even though comparatively it looks like you could probably recover from that, it's a big deal with just how much damage he's taken. You see, because he's on 10,000 HP right now. He could probably, if he wasn't very tired, take a fight with Tehenowan. The royal forces of the Empire now flying overhead. It's looking like Alan really wants to swing in the flanks here, and in doing so, he'll have an open shot at dealing with those salamanders. Griffins are on the prowl, looking to get at Kolek Suneater here. I think that's going to be a Curse of Aran here, if I had to take a guess. Yeah, Curse of Aran here to really isolate him as Boris comes into play. The forces of the Crooked Moon now finally coming in, and this is a bad day to be these Chaos Spawn. They have gotten kited and shot to pieces. Forest Goblins rushing in, the ultimate bout of the Goblins and the Skinks. And things are really getting chaotic in here. Spider Riders getting in, starting to poison some of these Skink skirmishers. Salamander hunting back at again. These Chaos Lancers, with the Mark of Nurgle, it's been very hard for them to get into a good position. I believe you do still have some Forsaken on the prowl here, yeah. Which have not been marked yet. And already some forces getting into play. Fanatics rushing in here. Are we going to see? Yeah! Oh, some nasty Fanatics in there. Bit of friendly fire on the Forest Goblins, but I'd call that worth just for the fact that you get to see the Fanatics. Heavy Pradas rushing in, tying down the Salamanders. They might be able to kind of sustain that if a Colossal Squig wasn't on the prowl. Oof. And Crooked Moon has sprung the trap here. The Catchweb Spider Shrine starting to move forward as well. The Rock Lobbers getting in position. You still have nasty Skulkers. Ooh. Bit of a Bad Moon's Gaze in there. Or Vindictive Glare, sorry. That's what it's called. Kolek Suneater, huge fight in here with Boris Todbringer. Bird and the Storm lashing out against each other. And that Amber Wizard, if he flanks in right now, could be super problematic. Colossal Squig looking pretty isolated at the moment. The Hanoan sees it, but he is exhausted. The Colossal Squig is winded. Wa very recently popped. And now rerouting in with the River Trolls and the Goblin Great Shaman. That is a super big command center. And ooh, waiting until the last second to pull out. Bad day to be in that skink cohort, let me tell ya. And now it's the Hanoan that's kind of been rocked. Big itchy nuisance, and the Catchweb Spider Shrine continuing to be a problem. These skink skirmishers so over chevroned by the looks of it. Probably some of that through damage value, but also through just chevrons beforehand. Ooh, that was a pretty good Lord of the Storm over by Kolek, who's still alive. This is why taking those early volleys was such a big deal. Even though he has such a huge health pool, he's still a problem the more you can get out of him. And it's all about that longevity. Tehanoan kindly books it out as the Reiksguard shoot in. And the Griffins still on the prowl. Ooh, big Cursed Bad Moon in there, doing a bit of friendly fire. Definitely hitting some of the spearmen. Oh. For shrinking down in there. Goblin Great Shaman up to 99 kills. He's doing very well so far. And the Colossal Squig on a rampage. At this point, Crooked Moon's got a very commanding look over the battlefield, but these handgunners need to be shut down ASAP, because they're the only things that can really directly challenge the command center of the Colossal Squig, the Great Shaman, the River Trolls, and the Heavy Pradas. And so by consistently putting pressure out right over here and out over here, you start to see the Squig flank. And the other big problem, so Kolek and the Pharaoh Kadan Manticore that used to be Tehanoan but is now the Pharaoh Kadan Manticore, duking it out in here. And I still don't think you want to take that fight. It's very rare that you want to take on a duel with Kolek Suneater. And ooh, Night Goblin Squig Hoppers getting into the handgunners here. These ones kind of getting in, but the Reiksguard are looking to identify it. Heavy Pradas really want to get in there right now. They want to push through. And this entire place is pretty much a sealed deal as to be dominated by the Crooked Moon. Out here, Forest Goblins and Wolf Hunters really have no hope at taking down an Amber Wizard and Toddy. It's very much so just a game of trying to slow it down here. Kolek Suneater looks like he's going to be routed off by the Kadan Manticore. And the Spider Riders are going to clean up the Cold Ones and some of the Skinks. Just a huge mess of Squigs and Reiksguard over here. A lot of Crooked Moon forces have been isolated a bit too hard. Wolf Hunters gonna want to be getting into those handgunners though, but instead, probably a micro mistake right now going into the handgunners. A bit of a strategic mess in there. But what I really want to do is I want to get the Colossal Squig into these greatswords. Vindictive Glare once again going off. The Rock Lobber actually rallied. Kinda surprised about that. Wolf Hunters now getting into the handgunners. Oh. Luckily, I think Fire at Will was on, so they were able to get a few volleys off. Not in guard mode. Huge tip actually here to kind of take a second to fall. Slow down. Guard mode does not mean you fire in melee. This is true in all versions of Total War. It just means that if it's possible, you will hold formation. The best thing that you should do if you have a ranged unit in melee combat with something, who's charging in. Okay, that's a really cool shot. That is, hang on. Alright, that's a super cool shot. Sorry. The best thing that you want to do is leave Fire at Will on. Guard mode certainly doesn't hurt, but it won't be the ceiling deal. You're going to want to have Fire at Will on and don't give attack orders. It will mess them up. Alright, that's my little PSA, because I see so many people going, oh, well, it's in guard mode. It's got to shoot a melee. That's not how it works. Itchy Nuisance in here, Colossal Squig in a big old fight. Fanatics, gonna take that charge. But are they gonna get off Fanatics in turn? Doesn't look like it. Oh! Ugh, nasty. Kill some forest goblins. One Fanatic going nuts over in here. Ooh, good old Curse of the Bad Moon. Now chilling out in there. It's definitely been I think it's been the curse of the mediocre moon, to tell you the truth. The casts haven't been particularly bad or good. Now splitting up the attention in between the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers and the Nasty Skulkers. The Goblin Great Shaman, oof, miscast there, but he does do some damage to the Amber Wizard. I want to keep the Colossal Squig in combat with the Greatswords here because I want it to die in this blob. I want it to blow up. Preferably, I could catch the Amber Wizard and Toddy in there to do some extra vigor damage. Or the Reichsguard as well. Nasty Skulkers probably shouldn't have tried to run from that fight. Catch-up Spider trying to bit isolated. And this is such a cat and mouse game right now. Of who can do what. Colossal Squig on its last legs here. As it's being slowly butchered in here. A big ol' attack into Toddy and the Amber Wizard here, but it's dropping so fast. Is it gonna blow or is it gonna rout? I think it's gonna blow. Oh! Massive explosion in there. Huge flock of doom coming in there to just try and be used as a minor combat debuff. And I cannot. It's a great thing that Alan still has handgunners alive, because he can consistently use them to force engagements. The Greenskins cannot afford to rest or slow down. You might think that they'd want to keep the fighting going, but it's the vigor. It's the real vigor game. But my ploy right now, as you can see, get that wah up. I just need a couple more wah points, and then I can declare one and I can get my vigor up. It's time to wah, and the wah is going now. You can see the vigor jumping up from exhausted to winded and tired. A brief moment there of just sitting around anyway. What's going on? The Greenskins charge on in. The Reichsguard circling around. Nasty Skulkas coming in with their wicked blades and kind of getting run over. A lot of the greenskin stuff kind of around. This rock lava has not been doing amazing this fight, I must say. Kadan Manticore is still on the prowl. Unfortunately, even though it's taken time to rest, it really cannot afford to. It has to get down right now because it's going to continue to take leadership penalties. You can already see. Because in Tet, while the leadership penalties don't occur super quick, they last a really long time. So even if you get on the ground, they're going to stick with you. So looking to say, like, duel the Amber Wizard is a very poor choice because it's in the air. Now the Amber Wizard can just kind of like try and kite. If you can get a cursive around here. And that Kadan Manticore really won't do that well. The Goblin Squig Hoppers try to get back into the handgunners. these handgunners have been microed so very well. The strategic ploy of using them as a positioning tool and a way to force engagements with the threat of how much damage they can do is just, it's been amazing play by the Empire, and you have to give credit where credit is due, using them in tandem with the Reichsguard and the Griffins. Big ol' charge in there from the Reichsguard. Goblin Great Shaman continuing to prowl. At this point, if Crooked Moon can get enough points to surpass Pajadtron with Mr. Pajar over there, things could get pretty good. But it's unlikely that they're going to be able to. The Empire is obviously going to be last man standing here, but how many points Crooked Moon can squeeze out of them is going to be where it falls, because at this point you could pretty safely say that the Empire can surpass the Lizardmen in terms of the last man standing bonus. But will then the points that Crooked Moon can squeeze out be enough to surpass that last man standing bonus? Kadam Manticore, why is it stopping? It has to get into melee. It cannot afford to rest. It's and there it goes. See, it's wavering now. It's too little, too late. It's gonna be stuck in the limbo of rallying and routing now. Once it gets routed off here. Really just not what needed to happen with that thing. It could have done so much more. And even though it got quite a bit of damage value, it was quite good as like a last-ditch effort to scrounge up some points. At the end there, just not microed very well. Even though like you get the Salamanders, you got Tenowin, you got all the Skinks and the Cold Ones that did such a good job. Rocklobber is just trying to get like a lucky shot to rout off these handgunners, because I can't commit units into killing them. I will just get recharged by Boris Todbringer in here. Who, by the way, still on full HP, by the way. Absolutely amazing this game has Boris Todbringer been. Just a great force of nature in the sky. The beautiful ratata of the handgunners coming in, doing a couple aiming. Can we see a volley? Can we? Oof. Maybe an opposing volley. The corpse of the colossal squig and some of the chaos spawn still visible. And yeah, the Kadam Manticore, it's in the limbo cycle now that flying units can get. Really unfortunate, because it could probably do some good damage against like the Reichsguard, but it's just not. Yeah, don't let it land. It's a real shifting game here. It's looking good for the Empire right now. But the goblins are tricksy. The goblins are tricksy in there. Catch up Spreadshrine. Get a few shots in there with Boris Todbringer, trying to like blunt the charge. Oh, the two of them just fighting it out now. But the Goblin Great Shaman routed. It's been routed off the catch web. It's been forced off by the Reichsguard. This could be really not good. Crown of Command wears off on the Forest Goblins. And curled up and dead. That Great Shaman no longer. You now just have the Rocklobber, and it looks like the fate is sealed for Crooked Moon here. Probably condemned to third place as the rocks get thrown. Can you get a lucky hit? Can you get a lucky hit on somebody? Oh, now in the Amber Wizard. What about Toddy? Can you get a good hit on Toddy? Barely misses. But does do some damage to the Reichsguard. Yeah. No joke, doing some damage to the Reichsguard. but Todbringer gets them off. Honestly, that's a really big surprise that Crooked Moon wasn't able to really do the work, because they had 3 Waa's. The old adage with veteran orc players is when you hit that 3rd Waa, you can normally get enough momentum to really pull back anything that you need or solidify a dominant position. And a dominant position was surely had. River Trolls, super slimy. Ugh, getting into combat in there, but it's the last stand of the Gobboz. And with that, the game ends. And Alan B, commanding the Empire, has promptly Alan Beansed all of his opponents. Very, very good play by him. Handgunners, exceptional. The Griffin play was very much so on point. Flagellants, considering all the trouble that the Flagellants really had to deal with, they did very well for themselves. Great swords, halberds. Pajad was very much so in a strategic rough spot in there, but he was so close. If he kept that Manticore fighting on the ground, I think that he could have won that. But alas, he let himself get stuck in the flying limbo. Sometimes Vigor just isn't worth it for the leadership penalties. Very interesting build though by him. And then Orion's Hope there, Error, kind of lingering at the bottom. You know, Forsaken did it pretty well for themselves. Kolek did alright. He was kind of caught out. I do not think Mark of Nurgle was the right choice for the Chaos Lancers. And the Gorby's Chariots definitely had some problems. Same thing with the Chaos Spawn. Crooked Moon Goblins really showing up. Colossal Squig, the River Trolls, even like the little Wolf Hunters, the Squig Hoppers. Catchweb Spider Shrine, I think, takes credit as the highest damage value unit on the field, which, you know, I really swear by this thing when I play Greenskins. Nasty Skulkers 2, the Fanatics, and the Spider Riders. Very good showing by all 3 players. It was a super fun replay. It was super cool. And as always, this is my like little flag of, if you're a Greenskin player, and you're more of a mixed orcs and goblins kind of guy, or you're mainly an orcs and no goblins, I do highly recommend kind of going nuts with the goblins. Just feel how it is, because it is a very unique and interesting way to play the Greenskins. So yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.